Hi, I'm John Hoganson.
And I'm Mike Carlson.
And we welcome you to another video edition of the E-Update. This morning, we're in what is truly a sacred place on our campus, the Columbarium. It's sacred for me. My father's remains are here, as are so many great saints. And Mike, this weekend, I'm going to be talking about Philippians 3, where Paul says, "This one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind." And as I read this text and I'm preparing to preach on it, Mike, I thought about the people. Have you ever met someone or people who are just locked in remorse about their past, their history, regret from what happened before? Or, on the opposite hand, people who can't move forward in life because they're so locked into the glory days of the past.
Yeah, and it's almost by they're haunted by their past for the good or the bad, and they so much so they can't even see their future. That their past is what made them everything they are, and they're missing a real key element there.
Yep, someone once said if we drive into the future looking in the rearview mirror, then we're going to crash. And in life, people tend to do both things. They're haunted by regret to the point that they can't go forward positively in the future, or they're just locked into a wonderful time in their past that is, well, frankly, past. And no one could do that more than the Apostle Paul. He was literally born into a tremendous lineage. He had a place of authority by the government, and yet he used that position and title to persecute Christians and literally order their execution. And then he said this: he would count it all as loss for the surpassing worth of knowing Christ. And what he means is he's learned the greatest thing in his life is his relationship with Christ. But he also, Mike, learned this thing that I hear you talk about better than almost anybody else, that he knew that no matter what he had achieved in the past, it couldn't earn him a relationship with Christ. And no matter what he had done in the past that he regretted, it couldn't prevent him from having a relationship with Christ.
Let me ask you a question, John. Did you make yourself get born?
No, I didn't.
No, you couldn't bring your own life into being. It came through your mother, through God, through things that you had no control of. And the same is true in our relationship with God. Our God calls us into being, into life, into the new life, regardless of the rearview mirror.
Right. And Paul says now what he's learned from that life of great accomplishment and great regret. He said this one thing I do, I press on for the surpassing goal of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord. In other words, what he's saying is the most important thing in his life is knowing Christ and doing all he can to grow in that relationship with Christ. And our hope for you is that whatever great achievements you've had in the past, you celebrate them, but look at them as gifts from God. And whatever regrets you had from the past, that you can just leave them at the foot of the altar, in knowing that the most important thing is a relationship with Christ, who comes to you and loves you just as you are.
Thanks, John. This is going to be a great weekend. I hope you can be here and bring some friends. Everyone needs to hear this message.